हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल वेल्थ अनलिमिटेड। आज इस वीडियो में हम बात करने जा रहे हैं यूएस स्टॉक मार्केट क्रैश की एंड व्हाट इज द रिलेशन ऑफ यूएस बैंकिंग फेलियर इन दिस क्रैश। जैसा कि आप सब लोग जानते हैं, इन लास्ट मंथ्स वी हैव सीन मल्टीपल लार्ज बैंकिंग सिस्टम फेलियर्स इन यूएस मार्केट प्लेस। वैसा ही आज कुछ हुआ एंड वी सॉ अनदर बैंक फॉल टुडे ड्यू टू विच US market is currently down by 1%. So before starting the video, if you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Now talking about the Dow Jones, you will see that the Dow Jones was trading at a negative 400 points today as First Republic slide. I'll show you a chart of the Dow Jones index. You can see it's a daily chart on the Dow Jones index and it is currently trading low of 306 point. Now I have drawn a support line for the Dow Jones. You can see it is somewhat roughly around at the level of 31,500. If Dow Jones break the support of 31,500, then we can see a massive sell-off coming in Dow Jones index as well as in the US stock market, which will be followed by the Indian stock market on Monday. Now, why this is happening? इस फॉल का कारण ये है कि आज वन ऑफ द बैंक ऑफ द यूएस फर्स्ट रिपब्लिक बैंक इट क्रैश 25%. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड हियर इज इट फॉलोड द सेम पैटर्न ऑफ सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक. जैसा कि लास्ट महीने सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक में एक मेजर सेल ऑफ देखा गया था ड्यू टू हिंड्रेंस इन द इन्वेस्टर्स बिलीफ, वैसा ही कुछ हमने देखा आज फर्स्ट रिपब्लिक बैंक के ट्रेडिंग सेशन में भी. Now you will see that the First Republic Bank 25% से लेके 26% एक सिंगल ट्रेडिंग सेशन में डाउन है. And what was the major reason is that investors or the depositors of the bank are pulling out their money and they are transferring their money into much larger institutions or safe banks. Now, what is the turmoil here? What is the problem, like why people are taking out money from banks like Silicon Valley, First Republic and Signature? So the story is that these banks provided or deposited lot of money from the startup or the large term insurers. Okay, they gained massive wealth in the period of in early period of 2018 to 2022. And they have a large number of deposit when the institutions or the investors were making money on their interest. Now these banks saw a massive spike of deposit in the year 2019 to 2022, and after that what is happened that their loan book was not able to grow at the same speed. अब आप इसे ऐसे समझिए कि आप बैंक से लोन लेते हैं तो आपको बैंक लोन देता है 8% इंटरेस्ट पे, बट जब आप अपना पैसा बैंक में डिपॉजिट कराते हैं आपको उसी पैसे पे इंटरेस्ट मिलता है 4% का. सो देयर इज अ ह्यूज मार्जिन ऑफ 4% वेयर बैंक्स मेक्स मनी, राइट. अब यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम ये हुई कि बैंक के पास डिपॉजिट ज़्यादा हो गया था. सो व्हाट दे डिड, दे इन्वेस्टेड दिस मनी इन बॉन्ड्स and securities. Well, they invested these money in the long-term bonds, which is inversely proportional to the interest rate hikes. जैसा कि आप सब लोग जानते हैं, in last few months we have seen a massive interest rate hikes from the RBI or from the Fed to control the inflation. उसी टाइम पे bonds के prices कम होते गए, bonds के interest rate कम होते गए. तो जो भी पैसा इन बैंक ने उन बॉन्ड्स में लगा के रखा था उसकी वैल्यू गिर गई. नाउ इन 2022 and 2023 what is happening is, as we are moving ahead, the economy is not that strong. The startups are burning cash. They have low reserves left. They are taking out their money from the banks. And what banks? Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, where they have deposited large chunk of money. Now, the First Republic Bank and Silicon Valley Bank bonds prices were lower than where they were invested and they took a huge blow. And उन्हें काफ़ी ज़्यादा लॉस उठाना पड़ा, जिसके वजह से these banks fell and investors started panicking and taking out their deposits money and started shifting these money to the different marketplace. I hope I was able to give you an understanding that what is happening here and why these banks are now jeopardizing or in the verge of collapsing. Similarly, कल के दिन एक न्यूज़ आई थी जहाँ पे बात हुई थी that $30 billion rupees were raised by large institution banks of US like Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, and small investors raised 2.5, like Morgan Stanley raised 2.5 billion as well, and they tried to rescue this particular bank. But despite that, you can see here, I'll show you what happened exactly. Despite that, the stock fell today roughly 25%. You will see that 11 lenders including Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, they invested money in this particular company to save this bank. Again, once the investors' emotions are hit, and if they lose confidence over the bank, then definitely this is going to happen. This is a domino effect which started with the Silicon Valley Bank, and it is currently seen in the smaller banks also now. Talking about like how it can affect India. Well, as we know that the India IT companies highly rely on the overseas businesses and overseas operations, okay? And there are news related to where the companies like TCS, Infosys have the highest exposure to the US regional banks. And this is said by JP Morgan. And I believe that this can be a turning point where you will see a correction in the IT stocks again. Earlier, what was happening is, if we see the stock of Infosys, just a minute. If we see the stock of Infosys, you will see that the company was able to come up, recover from the level of 1500 to the level of somewhat around 1600, and then now it has started to fall again. One of the major reason is, again, there are concerns that recession is coming. There are concerns that if the US banking crisis take place, then definitely there are chances that we will again see the 2008 kind of blackout in the world. But the situations are completely different. If we will see here, I am not saying that it is completely different, but we are at a much stable rate or at a much stable place where our systems can sustain such huge damages as well and recover from the current levels. So now if you will ask me whether these things are opportunities in the Indian market, well, I'll say today you will see that our Nifty 50 index particularly, it took a good support at a level of 16,900. For today it was 16,950 and we closed somewhat around 17,100. Talking about the futures of SGX Nifty, it is currently trading at 108 points below. Okay, now the thing is, if we don't break the level of 17,800, we are good. We are good as in like we are in a much better or stable state. We won't fall further. If we break the level of, yes, I'm talking about this particular level. If we break the level of 16,800, there are high chances that we will see a massive panic selling kicking in this stock market, and which can lead this particular stock market turmoil to the level of 16,500, then to the psychological level of 16,000, and to the level of 15,000 as well. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but again, we have to be very cautious if we break the level of 16,800 at any point of time. So if you are someone who is holding cash, I'll say that if you want to invest in stock market, you can put 30% of what you want to put or 40% of what you want to put at the current price. If we fall from here, if we break the levels of 16,800, we fall to 16,000, then you can do your second investment. And similarly, if we fall to the level of 15,000, you can plan to do your third third investment there, right? Now, the thing is, I believe that the year 2023 is a massive opportunity to make money in future. I'm not saying this as a trading perspective. I'm not saying this in terms of trading perspective that you will make money in a month or so. But if you will see here, we are consolidating well. We are consolidating between the level of 17,000 to 19,000. We failed to cross the barrier of 19,000. We failed to cross the barrier of 18,500 multiple times. Well, there are chances that we will move between the range of 15,000 to 19,000. Okay, it's a very big range, but you can consider it as a range between 17,000 to 19,000 for now. If we break, then only we will be going towards a level of 15,000. But this is the range which I am expecting market to be for the current year. But if we give a breakout above the level of 19,000, we can see a massive bull run coming, especially in the Indian market. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. This is what I think, this is what my research or like what I have learned in the market, how the markets are trending says. And yes, we have to be little cautious at current times. We have to be stay updated with the news which is flowing in the market. And if you want to know about the stocks which I am adding, so stay tuned to my channel. I will be posting videos what all stocks I am buying in coming days and what I have been adding in my portfolio. Thank you.